Afternoon YouTubers, welcome back to Diecast Culture, and this is a follow-on video from the job lot of 10 Majorette vintage cars that I found on eBay. And I just wanted to show you that I've done a quick cleanup of these 10 cars. Really didn't involve much work, but I just cleaned them up to get rid of years of dirt. And a couple of others I took a pair of pliers to. Sounds a bit drastic, but managed to straighten some accident damage, if you want to call it that. So the first one here is the Aca Diane, ACA, and then Diane. So I really haven't done much to this. I've just cleaned it up, and then as it comes around to the front, I've just added a little bit of white to replicate the headlights. In fact, if it was truly authentic, it probably would be a yellow, because headlights in France up until fairly recently were a yellow rather than white. Okay, so whilst we're on the subject of Citroën Dianes, here is another one. On the base of this vehicle it simply says Majorette, and no reference to what type of car it is, but it is definitely a Citroën Diane. Off-road style, I guess. So it's got a spare fuel can on the side and roll cage. So this one I actually forgot to include in the previous video, but you can have a quick look at it now. So next up is the Toyota 4x4. It's most likely a Toyota Hilux, although it doesn't have Hilux on the base. So quite unusual, I guess. I assume Majorette would have had the license to produce Toyota, but not Hilux. I'm not sure why Hilux wasn't included in the name. So on this one, all I've done is to clean off the decals, which were in poor condition, and to be honest with you, they didn't look that great anyway. At a later stage I might do a wheel swap on this. So this Renault 5 is beyond saving, although there are some restorers out there on YouTube who would rebuild this. But yeah, I don't have the skills at present to take on a job like that. So all I've done to this is just give it a quick clean. And the same goes for this Saab 900. So literally just a quick clean. The black paint was really dull. It was just covered in grime, not shining. So you can see a nice shine on that now, albeit it has lost. It's got quite a few chips on it. And here is the VW Forgeant, as is printed on the base. Clearly a panel van. And this had broken suspension, which I've managed to repair simply by relocating the little wire inside in the chassis to the right position. It must have just got pushed out of line, so that's now working. And as it comes around again, the other thing you notice is from the previous video is the back door, which was the same piece of plastic as the interior, which is white. I've now changed that to a similar colour to the body. Yeah, I know it doesn't look great, but it's probably slightly better than it was. Lamborghini Countach. Once again, I've done nothing to this, just a quick clean. Not really any visual difference from before. And the same goes for this Dodge. I think it's a Dodge Simca tow truck. I've removed the cable which was flying around off the back. I think there would have been a larger plastic structure on the back to represent a tow winch. And once again, this is an interesting one. So the doors have been pushed into towards the interior and had got jammed, so I've managed to unjam those and open them up. I've added some lighting on the tail lights, and apologies because I thought this was an M1, a BMW M1, which is a very similar supercar from the 70s to this particular one, but this Majorette is based on the BMW E25 Turbo. And if you're going to Google images on the E25, this Majorette's representation of this is really quite accurate. So it was made in 1972, and there were only 2 of them made in the world, apparently. Top speed of 155 miles per hour at the time, and 0 to 60 of about 6.5 seconds, which is fast, not amazingly fast, but considering it had a 2-litre engine, those are quite impressive figures. And lastly but not least is the Simca 1100. I am so pleased as to how this came out. So if you've watched the previous video, you will have seen that the roof had been squashed, the front A-pillars had been bent outwards, and the whole roof had been pushed to one side, and the tailgate boot did not close properly. So I took a pair of pliers to it and very gently squeezed the metal into more or less the right place. So unless you look really carefully, there is no sign that there's been a squashed roof on this previously. And I've also marked out the tail lamps at the back, which you can see when it comes round. So I didn't know this, but the Simca 1100, which was backed by Chrysler, was the first front-wheel drive family saloon. And it had initially one engine choice, so it was 1100, 1.1 litre, and you had a choice of a 53 brake horsepower or a tuned, wait for it, 56 brake horsepower engine. It was also designed as, described as, the ideal small family car for the family man, it said, and it showed a photograph of the spacious boot with loads of crates of beer, possibly, in the back. And there it is with the tailgate open. Okay, so that's all, folks. Just a simple video showing what little I did to these cars to make them look a little bit better. Thanks again for watching, and speak to you soon. Do leave your comments and take care. Happy diecast hunting.